From ghosts, UFOs, and evil spirits, to King Arthur, Merlin, and Bigfoot, here are 14 mysterious forests that are truly haunted. Number 14. Hoia Bachchu Forest. The most ancient Neolithic settlement in Romania is dated to around 6500 BCE and is contained within this forest. It covers about 3 square kilometers, or 1.2 square miles, near Transylvania. Maybe that location helps account for some of the strange activities alleged to have taken place here. Paranormal events including UFO sightings, ghostly apparitions, malfunctioning electronics, and people suddenly disappearing are said to have occurred. An area of the forest identified as the clearing shows no evidence of any vegetation ever having grown on it. Scientists have no explanation for it, nor can they explain why trees in the forest will grow in strange zig-zag patterns. Maybe you can understand why this place is sometimes called Romania's Bermuda Triangle. Number 13. Toei Hills National Park, Malaysia. Some of the world's tallest trees can be found within this forest in the northern part of Borneo. Along with the rugged volcanic landscapes, visitors are attracted by hot springs, camping sites, and amazing waterfalls. You might want to steer clear of that last attraction, though. While we couldn't verify the stories, there are plenty of accounts of people disappearing within these woods, especially near waterfalls. That ties in with a local belief that the entire forest is haunted and the spirits emerge at night. For that reason, you're advised to visit only during the day. Number 12. Longglow State Forest. It's located in New South Wales and has an estimated area of 9,400 acres, or 3,800 hectares. It's a popular destination for campers and trail bike riders, and is open to the public. But this forest has a dark side, too. It has been the site of many killings, including the infamous backpacker murders of the early 1990s. The serial killer was later caught and imprisoned for life in 1996, but 7 victims had died. In 2010, a schoolboy was killed by 3 teenagers, one of whom was related to the convicted serial killer. Also in 2010, a skeleton was unearthed that was initially linked to the backpacker murders, but DNA evidence later proved the victim was a 22-year-old female who was murdered in a separate incident during 2009. She and her infant daughter were positively ID'd, and the killer was later caught and convicted in 2018. Number 11. The Frith Wood, England. Frith is a Saxon word for wooded enclosure, and historians think these woodlands have been managed since the 5th century. The barracks for captured French prisoners once stood here during the Napoleonic Wars of the early 19th century. Locals claim there's a ghost story involving a woman who fell in love with one of the prisoners. But when her father and brother found out about the affair, they killed the man. She died shortly thereafter, possibly by suicide. Now her spirit is allegedly seen running through the trees and sobbing at the sight of her lover's murder. Number 10. Long Trail, Vermont. The name refers to a hiking trail that easily lives up to its name. Winding some 273 miles, or 440 kilometers, it runs the length of the state. And it's the oldest long-distance trail found in the US. While most people visit for hiking or snowshoeing activities, some are attracted by the trail's reputation. A section east of Bennington is claimed to contain a weird, haunting energy that is linked to some unsolved mysteries. During the 1940s and 50s, a series of unexplained disappearances occurred here. The best-known case involves a college student named Paula Jean Weldon, who set out for a solo hike one day in 1946 and was never seen again. A total of 6 people vanished in the same area, and extensive searches were conducted for all of them. 1 body was recovered, but the events and disappearances remain a mystery to this day. Number 9. Wychwood Forest, England. In the past, this forest located in southeast England totaled a much larger area. It was once a royal hunting ground, and experts say it's probably been settled since at least 3000 BCE. Visitors have reported seeing strange apparitions, crying children riding in a horse-drawn carriage, along with being touched by unseen hands. The most disturbing phenomenon is likely the ghost of Amy Robsart, who was the wife of the Earl of Leicester. She died under suspicious circumstances in 1560 after falling down a flight of stairs. According to legend, her ghost appeared to her husband while the Earl was out hunting. She told him he would be dead within 10 days, and guess what? He soon fell ill and died within that time. Number 8. Wistman's Wood, England. At more than 4,000 meters, or 1,312 feet, this is one of the highest altitude woodlands found in Britain. This remote location is so densely packed with trees that the sky is almost hidden by tangled branches. It's thought to be a leftover section of an ancient forest that once covered the region until humans cleared it around 5,000 BCE. In that time, it has become strongly connected to many myths and legends involving druids, elves, ghosts, hellhounds, and countless other supernatural phenomena. Easy to see why it has gained a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in England. Considering all the spooky locations found in the country, that's really saying something. Number 7. Blair Forest, Scotland. In Victorian times, this forest was home to coal mines and a surrounding mining town. The land has since reclaimed those efforts, but evidence of their existence can still be found. Some evidence of paranormal activity can be detected in the woods as well. Visitors have noticed an agitated energy that seems to be present, and pets suddenly become spooked. A well-documented case happened in 2008 when the Wilson family went to Blair for a picnic and hike. After returning home, the father made an unsettling discovery as he was editing some photos taken earlier. In a picture with his children, there was a sinister-looking figure lurking in the trees behind them. On closer inspection, the figure had Victorian-era clothing, not unlike a coal miner would have worn. No theory for the mysterious image has ever been proven. Tell us what you think in the comments. Number 6. Epping Forest, England. Stretching some 5,900 acres, or 24 square kilometers, the size and density of this English forest made it popular among 18th century highwaymen for use as a hideout. The ancient woodlands, located in Essex, continue to serve that purpose for miscreants into the 20th century. Along with functioning as a hideout, the forest is also known as a dumping ground for murder victims. At least a dozen bodies have been unearthed there, with the most recent one turning up in 2019. Maybe it's no surprise that there have been many stories of apparitions haunting the forest, in addition to unsettling drum noises made by soldiers long deceased. Number 5. Pampelonne Forest, France. This section of Brittany has long been linked to the enchanted forest that appears in the legend of King Arthur. Those stories date to the 12th century and describe the forest as a place where Arthur and several knights of the Round Table once inhabited. The northern area of the forest contains a Neolithic structure identified as the Tomb of Merlin. The wizard was allegedly imprisoned here by the Lady of the Lake. The best known part of the forest is probably the Valley of No Return. The French version of the legend claims that Arthur's half-sister Morgan Le Fay imprisoned unfaithful knights within the valley. In 1990, a terrible fire ravaged the forest and hit the valley particularly hard. A golden tree placed at the valley's entrance memorializes the event. Number 4. The Island of the Dolls, Mexico. This location is technically a floating garden near Mexico City that belonged to a local man. According to legend, the man was a loner who found the body of a little girl that had drowned in the canals. When he discovered a doll nearby, he assumed it belonged to the child, and he hung it up from a tree as tribute. After hearing whispers, footsteps, and crying, he thought the dead child's spirit had returned to haunt him. So he continued hanging dolls for the next several decades in hopes of appeasing her. It's said that he died in the exact location where he found the child's body 50 years earlier. The location has become a popular tourist spot, and visitors claim to hear the dolls whispering to them. Number 3. The Screaming Wood. In Kent, England, you'll find Pluckley, a place that Guinness once deemed to be the most haunted village in Britain. While that category no longer exists, the haunted reputation of Pluckley's daring woods remains very much alive. It's also known as the Screaming Forest, thanks to the ghost of a highwayman who was killed there in the 18th century. The apparition is said to emit blood-curdling screams in the dead of night. Up to 15 different ghosts are reported to inhabit the woods. That includes the Red Lady, who died in the 12th century and still wanders the area. Other paranormal activity includes phantom footsteps, whispering, and strange lights in the forest that have also been reported. Number 2. The Devil's Tramping Ground. In the woods of North Carolina, there's a strange circle of land where no plant will grow and all animals will avoid, and if any object is placed within the circle, it will disappear. The barren ring of land measures 40 feet or 12 meters, and is alleged that nothing has grown within it for at least 100 years. According to local legend, the devil comes to Earth to tramp the ground in a circle while he conjures up more misery for the world. We found several more bizarre phenomena associated with this place. Strange, shadowy creatures are said to watch campers, and a soothing voice and melody can sometimes be heard. When the voice lulls people to sleep, they'll later wake up several miles away from the tramping ground. Number 1. Freetown State Forest. Located in Massachusetts, this forest covers more than 5,000 acres, or 2,000 hectares, with most of its location in the town of Freetown. It has become linked to numerous crimes and incidents, including murders, hazardous waste dumping, and ritual activities. Maybe it has to do with the location. The forest is part of a 200 square mile area, or 520 square kilometers, known as the Bridgewater Triangle, which has been the site of numerous alleged paranormal phenomena. That includes ghosts, UFOs, balls of fire, giant snakes, thunderbirds, and even Bigfoot. Some locals think the activity can be traced to colonial times when settlers purchased land from the Native American tribes. The transaction was supposedly cursed because the sacred burial ground was included in the deal. What do you think? Thanks for watching this episode of American Eye. Did you like the video? Tell us what you think in the comments below, and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.